death and dismemberment.
What is it and the objective behind it?
Okay, so what it is an additional payout, for
Right.
lack of a better word. So what it is, you pay extra for it.
Okay.
So you say, hey, you know what? I got life insurance and I want this AD&D, accidental death. So if I
Okay.
die in an accident, if I'm in a car accident,
Car accident.
I will get an additional amount of money because that's how I died.
Wow. On top of my
On top of your
original life
policy.
insurance policy.
Yes.
Wow.
And it sounds great, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
But
does.
here's the problem. 90% of us
What?
will die from illness.
Right. That's true.
So people pay extra for it,
But nothing.
and it's rarely used. And to make it even worse, you have car insurance, auto insurance.
Right.
You just took care of that.
It's covering for car insurance.
Say it
I was
again?
slow on that one, but I get it.
It's car insurance. Yeah.
So it's there already.
It's
But
there.
we pay X, that's one of those not being aware, and so typically when I speak to people, I don't even cover that. We offer it, but I typically don't cover it because
Accidental.
in my opinion now,
Yeah.
and I cannot tell anybody how to feel for themselves, but for me, that one is a waste of money.
How
Most
much
of us
more
won't
does
die.
it use? Is it usually on top of the premium? How much more?
It depends
usually?
on how much you get. So say I've got, now once again, I use that $1 million policy and I'm
All
paying
right.
$350 a month.
Right.
And then I got AD&D on there for another 1 million. I might pay another $100 a month.
Mm.
And that money is just going to be lost if I don't die by an accident?
No, I mean, because you got that, if you've got a whole life policy, it's not lost. It still helps you, generate income in your policy.
Right.
It does?
Yeah. But I would much rather use that $100 a month, not to be funny.
Right.
We talked about using life insurance to fund retirement.
Right.
I'd be so much smarter to take that $100 instead of putting it there and put it inside an IRA.
That's true. And
See,
I
that was
definitely
the question I had.
Yeah,
I'm glad you said that because
Please.
my next question was moving away from life insurance, retirement.
Yes.
Where I'm 28, right?
Mhm.
And my husband and I were already talking about retirement and we have a couple of prospects, but like honestly, where can someone who's in their 20s or 30s, where do you start with retirement?
Oh my God. So right now, people are really worried about the market, stock market.
Yep.
Historically, presidential elections, we get a lot of turbulence. It
Right.
happens. But if you look at it over time, whoever's in office really does not make a difference. Democrat, Republican, it does not make a difference.
It doesn't. You're
What
right.
matters is how long you're in the market.
That's right.
So what I tell
Time.
everybody, I'm 28 years old.
Time.
I have this piece that I send out to people, and if you want, I can send it to you. I'll attach that when I send you but it's called The Power of $125. $125 a week is $6,000 a year, which is the most. That's your maximum contribution in your IRA. But check this out. At 28 years old, I put that money in there, $6,000 a year. When I retire, I'm a multimillionaire. Now, and then here's the one piece that I tell everybody you've got to consider.
Yes.
And this is just me. And I mean, I'm generally healthy. I always look at what I'm going to pay for my health. When I start to get older, I've got to, people my age now are starting to say, man, hey, I need to talk to you because I need to come up with a retirement plan. Oh man, yeah, I can put up, I can put up $125 a week. That's cool. I can do that. Okay, that sounds great. Here's what I'm going to tell you though. You're 55 years old.
Right.
You're 5'7". Right. 385 pounds.
Wow.
You don't exercise. You drink and you smoke. Yeah, you need to put that money in there, but I'm going to tell you now, you're going to eat that money up.
That's right.
And the reason you're going to eat it up is because it's going to be paying for your health. You're going to be paying for doctor's visits. Best thing for you to do, it's off subject, but you'd be better off putting that $100 that you want to put in that 401k into a long-term care plan. Because you're going to need it. And yes, we do long-term care as well. But when you consider, I live in Indiana,
Right.
the cost for 1 year in a nursing home, $82,000 in Indiana.
Oh God.
82 grand?
82
Indiana?
grand in Indiana. And I mean, you can Google online, just go to Google and Google search and look up nursing home costs by state, and you'd be shocked at how much you're going to pay. And people think like, oh my God, my retirement now is gone. My 401k just got ate up because I'm in a nursing home.
Right.
They never consider that.
A basic question.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it called 401k? What does that mean?
401k is actually the number of the plan. When it was presented to Congress, pensions were going away. So pensions, there was a time everybody had a pension, and they came up with this idea of, if we can take the burden off of the companies to pay for people's retirement and let people do it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And when it got to the floor in Congress, it was bill number 401, and the letter K was just the number that was attached to it. As African Americans, we leave our job and we walk out of that building and we got everything we own in a box, a bag, whatever. And we never stop to say, hey, my 401k is there. That's the most important piece of paper you've got.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll never look. We do 401k rollovers. You'd be amazed how many people have left. The average American will have 12 jobs in their career.
Right.
And just think, if you got 12 of them, man, that's only a couple of $1,000. It ain't going to do nothing. You're right. But it's still a couple of $1,000.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Let me roll all of those up for you. We can stick them in one pot. And let's be honest, you got $24,000 versus 2 in a whole bunch of places. It does a whole lot better with a $24,000 lump gaining interest than a $2,000 lump gaining interest.
How does someone who's self-employed get a 401k?
Now, you can't do a 401k as a self-employed individual. But what you can do as a self-employed individual is called a SEP IRA.
A what?
A SEP IRA, SEP,
Mm-hmm.
self-employed IRA.
Oh.
Now, you can still, because you're an employer, you're paying yourself. You have a SEP IRA. But if you take on an additional employee, now you'll have to start to do things a little different. You can still have the SEP IRA, but you'd have to make contributions into both accounts.
Oh, okay.
You're learning all kinds of stuff. You see what I'm saying? Black America, this is what we need. You're sitting in a barber shop, and I'm a barber. I'm self-employed. Right. I have no retirement plan.
None.
All of a sudden now, my wheels are turning. Hey, I'm gonna call this guy. Let's sit down and figure this out.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Barbers don't think them as hairstylists. They never stop to think about it.
Right.
I have to pay for my own retirement.
That's right.
Yeah.
Set that thing up.
Now, question with the 401. Do you now? I actually have a 401k. Well, I'm through TIAA CREF because I work for the university, right? So that's my pension plan. And I've seen a lot of older people. They have their TIAA CREF, and then they open up their own independent IRA too.
Yep.
Do you encourage people to do that? Have both?
We do, because you have contribution limits.
Right.
So one of the things we talk about is what we call is qualified and unqualified money.
Right.
So you want to invest. We throw the word diversified around a lot.
Right.
So now the common theme is you want 7 streams of income.
Wow.
Everybody should have 7 streams of income.
Wow.
So if I've got all of my money in my 401k, and God forbid 2008 hits, people lost 40% in their 401ks.
Right.
I'm sitting there saying like, man, my 401k is dying.
That's right.
Let me talk to London. Hey, buddy, what can I do here? Well, you know what? Right now, and I mean, I'm speaking right now, 2020.
Right.
A lot of companies, because of the turbulence we were going through, allow people to take money out of their 401k.
Right. Right.
Non-hardship withdrawals, and they were rolling it over into an IRA.
Got you.
So I took it from there, put it somewhere else. So now the beauty of an IRA versus a 401k, With a 401k, I don't have a whole lot of investment options. You know, they've got what they've got, and that's it.
Right.
I'm in an IRA. I call London, hey, I want to put this in an IRA. Man, I got so much stuff that you can do with it. And now you have control where you're investing your money versus the limited options. New York Life has what we call the investment preservation rider. You pay a little bit of extra money for it. This is going to be one that's shocking.
Okay.
So I take $50,000 out of my 401k and I put it into the IRA. I have London put this stuff in this IRA for me.
Right.
And he says, hey, you know what? Let's talk about this IPR. What's the IPR, London? That's the investment preservation rider. Cost you, and I'm making this number up, $5 a month.
Right.
Okay, that ain't bad. Well, what does it do? What happens is you put your money in this 401k account, and say at the you want to put it in there for 5 years.
Right.
I'm not going to need this money for 5 years. Okay. At the end of 5 years, we go back to your account. You initially rolled over $50,000. Stock market took a crazy hit.
Right.
And the money is now only worth $30,000. Man, that ain't cool, London. You know what? You're absolutely right. But because we put that investment preservation rider on there, New York Life is going to make you put your balance back to $50,000.
What?
Ooh.
And people are sitting, you'd be amazed how many people are sitting here and telling me, well, man, shoot, I ain't moving my money. I'm gonna leave it right here. That's on you. You're in a no-lose situation now. Either your money is going to grow or it's going to stay where it is. You're going to make your money back. But here's the great thing. You put your money over here, now your money is growing. You know what? Now it's worth $60,000 next year. So up to 60. Oh, that's cool. So what happens now? Well, you know what? Let me call London. Hey, man, my stock is up. My IRA is looking great, man. What are we going to do? Well, you know what? Let's reset it. Let's lock you in at 60,000.
Right.
Push you out for another 5 years. Right. And now you're protected on the 60,000.
Right.
You just protected your growth inside that IRA. So it does not, if it goes down, instead of them saying, well, no, you only had the 50,000. No, you reset it to 60,000. They got to put you back to 60,000 now.
That's crazy.
And people are sitting back saying, well, you know what? Yeah, I mean, granted, the crazy, and I know we're talking to Black America, the crazy part is white America hears these things.
That's right.
And they discuss it over the dinner table.
That's right.
They're talking about it at work.
Absolutely.
Their friends in the bar, we sitting down and have a beer, we're talking about these things. We're talking about how many points Steph Curry got last night.
Right. That's what we talking about. It's meaningless stuff.
I can't feed my kids with that.
Yeah.
And not at all.
You know, and to go back to life insurance, just an idea just popped into me.
Sure.
You know, ecstasy. John Fletcher just passed.
That's right.
Dude has, I'm an old school hip hop head.
Right, right.
Love me some old school hip hop, you know, man. Right. I mean, that one hurt right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when I saw this man's family has a GoFundMe to pay his burials. Exactly. Can you imagine that? I mean, my circle is nowhere near as large as he is.
Right.
They're only trying to raise $20,000.
Man.
If I had to raise $20,000 to bury me, you know, that's like 4-5 people. Right. You know, y'all got to come up with $4,000 a piece.
Right, right.
We're still having fish fries to bury our people. And I mean, I'm not being funny when I say $40 a month for a $250,000.
Right.
That's a term policy, 20-year term.
Right.
$40 a month.
$40 a month, man. We blow that on nonsense.
Exactly. And here's the crazy part in that, though. As I told you, my wife and I have 5 kids between us.
Right. Right.
So we've got $500,000 in coverage on both of us.
Uh-huh.
But you know, ballparking, and I've already told my kids what I want. This is what you do with this money. And if you don't do it, I'm gonna come back and haunt you. But you're basically looking at $100,000 a piece.
Yeah.
What does that do to the quality of life when I start off with $100,000? My father dies, I got $100,000.
You can start your own business, man.
Exactly.
Man, you can do a lot, man.
We're sitting right here now fussing about $600 from the government.
$600.
Man, they know they should have gave us 2,000. Time out. You got 100,000 sitting there.
Exactly.
You're not stressing over 600 then.
At all.
Donald Trump's grandmother bought him his first piece of stock.
Mm.
You now share a part of America.
Mm.
We're jumping through hoops to buy LeBrons.
Right.
Right.
No, let's start buying Nike stock.
Preach, brother, preach. Absolutely.
Coca-Cola. One of my favorite stock of all time for me is Coca-Cola.
That's right. Me too. I like Coke.
Coca-Cola is a moderately priced stock. People see Coke and it's like, it's $40. They're like, oh, that ain't nothing.
Right.
You're right. It's not. So buy it. Buy you 2 shares of Coke.
Right.
What happens is whenever Coke gets too high, they do a stock split.
That's right.
They want everybody to be able to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
What's a stock split?
Exactly. But so a stock split says, you bought your share at $40.
That's right.
So you bought one share stock at $40, and you held that stock. So now it's worth $100. It's gotten too high. So do a stock split, which says we want to bring that price back down to $40. So they send you out 1.5 shares of stock, and they bring that stock price back down to $40. So now you've got 2.5 shares at $40. When you only bought 1 share. That's what's called a generational stock.
That's right.
You buy it, frame it, put it on the wall. When you get ready to retire, you tell your kids that right there, that's yours.
It's you.
Don't you ever sell it. Just keep it.
At all. Just keep
it. And they will keep on sending you more and more shares of stock. And then you're going to mess around in 3 or 4 generations, be sitting here like, you know what? I got $60,000 sitting on my wall.
That's crazy.
The stock just keeps on splitting.
That's crazy.
I'm not worried about buying Coca-Cola anymore.
That's right.
Because every time I buy one, I'm paying myself.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
We as African Americans don't have these conversations. We've got to start saying, like, you know what? It's not about the man keeping me down. I need to start learning how to fight in the man's fight.
That's right. Learning the system.
Now the system works for me instead of against me.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, capitalism is not necessarily a bad thing. Can be a good thing.
That's right.
It's about perspective.
That's right. When we get too greedy, then it changes. But learn to work in the system.
Right.
You can sit down all day long and say, well, the system is corrupt. You're right, it is. But check this out. You still got to eat, don't you?
Still got to eat.
I tell everybody, don't let my size fool you. I'm not missing any meals. I want to eat.
Oh, man.
So, yes, life insurance, crazy important. I pray to God people hear and say, hey, you know what? I need more information. There's nothing wrong with needing more information.
Not at all.
Just make sure you find the right person. And even and just because you heard it from me doesn't make it the gospel.
Right.
You got to ask other people.
That's right.
Get other people's ideas on it. Well, what do you think about this?
That's right.
What do you think about whole life? What do you think about term? But why? That's the thing I want people to get, though, is the why. Not so much what do you think about it? Why do you think that way?
Right.
Why is well, you say term is better. Yeah, I say term is better. Why? Because I think it's better.
I need
that's not a good enough answer for me.
Nah, I need an explanation on that one.
Give me something more. Why should I buy a long-term care policy?
Right.
Okay. Let's sit down and look at it.
Right.
And this is one of the questions I ask, because you'd be amazed how many men will say that.
Sure.
Well, I think I'm gonna be okay. I don't need a long-term care policy. Okay.
Right.
Check this out. And I'm going to ask you this question just like I ask people when I talk to them. Would you be comfortable with your wife having to pick you up off of the floor?
No.
That's why you need a long-term care policy.
That's right.
People sit down and say, I think I'm okay. God forbid something happens. Your wife will probably be your caregiver.
Right. She can't pick me up off the floor.
And as a wife, they'll typically say, well, I'm 135. How much does your husband weigh?
Right.
195.
Right.
Do you think he could pick you up off of the floor without you assisting him? You ain't sticking your hands up in the air, nothing. You're just laying there.
Right.
He's got to pick you up off of the floor.
Off the floor.
And then if you really want to make it ugly, would you be okay with your husband helping you in the restroom? That's what caregivers have to do.
That's right.
Every day. So you're right. You don't need long-term care. Let your wife handle all that. And I close my computer up and I get up to walk. Well, hold on, wait. Hold
right. You think about
I'm
it.
out.
Right.
I didn't think about that. And we don't until it's too late.
Right.
There's a whole lot of things you can do with life insurance. You can use life insurance for long-term care. You can use life insurance for, you know, as I talked about college, say your child decides they don't want to go to college.
Right.
And not everybody does. But I love working on cars. I want to open my own garage.
That's right.
You imagine what it's like to tell your son, you know what, here's $50,000 to help you open your shop.
Man.
You ain't getting no loan. You got $50,000 to open your shop.
Right. Make it happen.
What happens to Black America when we start getting to a point that we can do that for our kids?
Right.
We ain't waiting for no loan. We're not sitting here saying we need a Pell Grant to go to school. If you can't get this grant, I don't know what you're going to do.
Right.
Or even better, you know, like I say, I plan on using my life insurance policy for my retirement.
Right.
There are people that say it costs them less to take a cruise year round than it does to go in a nursing home. I will be on a cruise because I want to be on a cruise.
That's right.
I was stationed in Vicenza, Italy. Loved it.
Right.
You know, it's gravy when you retire and you say, hey, babe, what you doing? You feel like, let's go to Europe. We get our check this month. We going to Europe. And then when you come back, you say, you know what? I want to go see Nigeria.
Right.
And I'm taking money from a life insurance policy to pay for it. My 401k, doing what it does.
Right.
My SSI, I forgot I didn't get an SSI check. That thing's been sitting in the mailbox. I need to get me in because I'm spending from my life insurance policy.
Right.
Amazing. Yes, there's so much we can do in America, Black America. We got to get better at it. Got to get better. Talk to some people.
Definitely. Portia, any final questions, thoughts, sentiments? I know so much. It's so many questions, right?
I have so many questions. There's just no way to get through them all. So like, it's just like, Mr. Dixon, I will be hitting you up just so you know. Be prepared.
I am. And I love it. I mean, like I said, I love it because it helps us.
Right.
You know, what I know now is no longer for me. It's for us.
Right.
Black America's got to know what I know. So that when their kids say,
I like that.
How do I do this? Oh, let me tell you what I learned.
That's right.
I know how to do my own brakes, yeah.
Right.
But if my kids don't know, then that dies with me.
That's right. Well put, man. Well put. And we're gonna put your email in the description, man, because I'm quite sure we're gonna have this is gonna be one of the segments and videos that I think is really gonna be an eye opener to motivational motives.
I pray it is.
It has to be, man, because because it's like I said, I'm all about legacy, man. You know, I'm a middle-aged guy. I'm gonna be going. I want to make sure that my kids is benefiting from this conversation.
Yes. I don't want to have to choose between lights and eating.
Right, man. Oh man.
Leave that alone.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. So we definitely gonna put your email in the description. And you know, we don't have to, your phone number, we'll leave that to the side,
that phone number is fine too. It does not bother me. I'm a firm believer in. Okay. When I say God made me as a worker, he made me as a worker. When I get to heaven, I want to be wore out. And I want him to say, you did a good job, son.
I feel the same way in my profession, man. You know what I mean? I mimic that in my profession. So we're going to put the email and the phone number in the description. And you guys that have questions about life insurance, please consult Mr. Dixon. He's a real good guy. And you know what? He loves you as a Black person.
Yes, I do.
You know what I mean?
And
when you come in
also,
contact with people like London Dixon, you keep them in your corner.
Yes. And I'm not licensed in every state in the nation.
Right.
But
maybe you can
I know people who are. So I will get you in touch with somebody who is to make sure we get you what you need.
Right.
My man. Appreciate you, man. So
man. Love
from Quan John, Portia Mystique, my man London Dixon, signing out.
Have a good one. God bless.